Hello, very good morning. Welcome to JS Testing Academy. Welcome to the next part of video, Java for Q automation. Okay, so already we posted one video for object, class, right, and variables. This is going to be next concepts. We are slowly moving to the OOPS concepts here. Okay, so in OOPS concept, right, where inheritance is used, right, in the right in the Java world, and we also will right. I'll show you where constructor is also used, right, in the automation world. Okay, so that is what is going to cover in this particular video. Okay, so now let me. I've already created one project. Let me create one class here. Okay, so for let me create one package first. This we already posted this right framework and all, but I'm just telling in right Java point of view, right, where it can be used, right. Like suppose in lot of interviews they're asking, where did you apply inheritance in your project? Okay, or where do you apply constructor in your project? Okay, so where you applied in encapsulation, these are all common interview questions. They you might tell an example of inheritance and right constructor, and you can tell in Java point of view, but in Selenium standpoint of view, where use, that is the question, right. We should answer it. That is what we are trying here in this particular video. Okay, let me finish the creating the package. Okay, next one is library class. You'll give us library class. In this library class, I'm going to give the WebDriver instance, right. Create a method called as browser launch and add the browser launch code. Okay, and I'm going to create a WebDriver instance here in this particular class. This we all know, right. Those who know Selenium, we should know this basic code. Okay, so I'm creating one method here. Okay, I'm making it as a public so that it can be accessed outside anywhere. Okay, then I'm creating a WebDriver manager code so that it downloads the latest drivers right from the repository. Okay, Chrome driver. We can also skip the WebDriver manager code since after 4, right. So it has a capacity to download the latest drivers also. Okay, a new Chrome driver. Okay, now let's go to the next one, right. Okay, we'll add the maximize window code. Okay, next one is driver dot get. Okay, I'll give Flipkart search. I'll add the Flipkart search. It's a common, right, application we are posting for a lot of videos. I'll take this one itself. Okay, I'll navigate to the URL Flipkart. Okay, so now right, I need to create the right driver outside so that it is a global point of access. Okay, okay, so I created one class here, and right, I created one method here. Okay, so now I am going to use this method in outside the class. That is where the inheritance comes. Okay, so I'm going to create one class called as page class. Okay, so in that right, I'm going to search the particular Flipkart page. For that, I'm going to add one class, first one package, that is page class pages. Okay, then I'm going to add, right, Flipkart search. Okay, now I'm going to right, use a page object model, right, design pattern here. So I'm going to create one constructor here, and initialize the web elements. Okay, I'm using the constructor Flipkart search page, right? Right, you creating one constructor. I'm going to initialize the elements here with the help of page factory. Whatever elements I'm going to use in the page, right? I'm going to make it add this here so that it makes the current right object driver here. Okay, so now I'm going to extend here. This is where the inheritance comes here. This is the main purpose why we are seeing this video. So in interview you can tell I'm extending from library class to the page class, where in library class I create a browser launch code method where I will use it in my pages for initiate right, using the WebDriver instance which I created in the library class. Okay, now I'll give a locator here. I locate it with help of at find by annotation. Okay, I'll use the locator name here and the value queue. Since we all know a lot of times I directly added the locator for the search box. Okay, so but you should inspect it and do it. Okay, then I need to do for the search icon also. Okay, Flipkart, then I should take an XPath here for the search icon. Okay, I already took for the text box. Now I take an XPath for the search icon. I'll take attribute type equal to submit and tag name as button. Okay, tag name I'm going to take a relative XPath, then tag name is button and type equal to submit. Okay, I'm copying this XPath and keeping it here. Okay, then I'm storing it in a web element search icon. Okay, now I'll create one method. I'll use getter and setter here. Sorry. So right, this is also one right concept called as encapsulation. Encapsulation means wrapping up the data into a single unit. Okay, for that we can use getter and setter here. Okay, so here for this I'll put an another video for encapsulation, but I am telling right here this is also we can use in the Selenium world. Okay, I'm using only getter here. I'm going to get it and use it in an the test case. Okay, I'm going to create methods for get search box and also get search icon. Okay, so this is called as encapsulation. So encapsulation can be used to in the page object model, that is pages page, where I can get the web elements and I can call it and use it in your test cases. Okay, so now pages class is ready. So here 1 minute, right? This is called as a constructor. What is a constructor? A method is having the same name as the class name, that is called as a constructor. Okay, so here I'm using a default constructor in my Selenium code so that I can use it in my test cases while creating an object here. Okay, for that I'm using here. Then I'm using extending this, I'm using an inheritance here. Okay, so this is what two things, and this is the encapsulation where I'm using a getter here wrapping up into one class. Okay, and then I'm using it. Okay, so this is where the encapsulation comes here. Okay, now let me go and create another class. But shortly I'll put another video for encapsulation with rest assured point of view. Okay, in the next video. Okay, now I'll create one class right for test case, that is test execution. Then I'm going to call those methods. I'm going to use JUnit here First I'll extend here the library class. So since I'm extending two times, it becomes an hierarchical inheritance. Okay. First I'm extending from library class to the page class, then I'm extending from library class to the test execution also. Okay. So this becomes an hierarchical inheritance. There are different types of inheritance we do: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Now I'll add JUnit framework here. I'll add before. Then I'll call the browser launch code which I created in the library class. Okay. I'll add first create a method open application. Then I'll make it as a public. Then I'll call the method browser launch code which I created in the library class. Okay. Then I'll use attest method. Okay. Then test case one. Okay. Now I'll create an object of Flipkart search page. Then I'll call it. Call those methods, right? I'll use the getter here to pass a value. Okay. F dot get search box. I'm using the encapsulation here, getter and dot send keys and passing the value. Okay. Then I'll use F dot search icon dot click. Okay. Now let's run the code now. Application open. Let's want to search mobile here. 1 minute, there's an error here. Let me see. Null pointer exception. I'll make it static here. Let me run again. So this is how you should explain, right? First, let me mobile search and clicked it fine. Okay. So this is how you should explain in right in your real-time project interviews, right? Where I'm using the inheritance, where I'm using the encapsulation, where I'm using the constructor. Okay. So you should be able to tell practically when a question is asked, right? I was having a library class where I extended to my pages and my test case. Okay, I was having a page class where I use the constructor. In the page class I use getters so that it can be called and used in my test cases. Okay, so this is how you should explain in interview so that you are getting a better result. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Continue to follow this series. Have a nice day. Bye.